Hey guys, what's up? MajesticGaming here, and it is September 7th, 2018, which means Spider-Man PS4 is officially out for everyone, and I went to the 9 o'clock release at GameStop, so I've gotten to have my hands on the game for a few hours now, and it is really awesome. I don't want to sound like I'm exaggerating too much or just kind of overhyping it, but after waiting for this for 2 years, I can definitively say that so far with what I have played, I am very impressed. So yeah, it's awesome. I'm just kind of gonna be jumping around, just a bunch of random things, kind of my first impressions after having my hands on the game for a few hours. So just kind of some quick random things, but starting, the first thing that really stood out to me just on the main menu is the soundtrack. It's awesome. It's just really like inspiring. To me, it just felt like you were playing one of the ending scenes, the web swinging scenes from the original Spider-Man, like the Raimi trilogy or the Amazing movies, but it's just kind of that same feeling with the music, and you're just swinging around, and it's an awesome feeling, and it just kind of auto kicks in whenever you start like swinging really fast. And also, web swinging is just so much fun. This is something I was kind of worried about because ever since we saw that gameplay at E3 2017 and the web swinging looked kind of slow, and I was like, how fun can it really be? But it is way more fun than I expected. It takes a little while to get into it, but once you really like get the groove of it and you just get the momentum, your web swinging, you kind of start unlocking certain things where you can bounce off things. It's just so much fun, and it's just incredible, and I was really impressed by that. The first story mission also does a good job of kind of giving you the introduction, like the basics to the game, but also doesn't baby you too much. And there's the first boss fight with Kingpin, which is not a spoiler, that's been announced and everything, where you have the classic suit, and also they do kind of go into some stuff with the story, again, no spoilers, about how he gets the advanced suit, but that does happen very early on in the game, so don't need to worry about that. But the first boss fight with Kingpin is really cool, and also like for a first boss fight, it was pretty impressive. It was like brutal, and the quick time events also, do not worry, they're not too prevalent, and I enjoyed them when they were there. And like I said in like a previous thing, they're only really there when they need to be, if it's something they can't really do in gameplay. But the combat is really enjoyable and more complex than I expected. I also just kind of expected this to be maybe like an Arkham clone, but I'm really impressed. It does kind of come across as that, especially with like the final takedown punch thing you do. It'll be like exactly the things from the Arkham games, and it makes like a big boom sound when it's the last kill. Very similar, but again, that's kind of like the golden bar for superhero games, so obviously they would take inspiration from that. I also love that, I don't really know how to phrase this, but I guess it's not super binary. Like, you can kind of be attacking one boss at a certain point, but then also you have like 6 other enemies coming at you, and just because you're doing like a special takedown on a boss doesn't mean that you also can't be attacked by other people. It's not like they all stop once you start attacking the boss. So that was really cool, more like immersive, I guess, and realistic, and I was just really surprised by that, and that's something that I kind of feel like I was expecting them just not to have. But although it was frustrating to be attacked by a billion people at once, it also is more realistic and more fun and more challenging, and I loved it. Visually, it also looks absolutely awesome. People need to not worry too much about the graphical downgrade stuff. It looks great when I've been playing it. I'm playing it on an original PlayStation 4, and it looks great. I love the whole aspect, kind of, I haven't gotten to like experiment with this too much, but the whole different aspects of getting the different tokens for doing the different stuff around the city, and then you can use those to upgrade your suit and your gadgets. And the gadgets also I haven't gotten like too much time to mess around with yet, so I don't really know how I feel about those. Basically, something that I wasn't really expecting was that the gadget wheel would be how you control like everything, the web shooters. I didn't know it would actually be just a gadget that you'd have to switch between, but so far it seems cool. They have things like the spider drone and like just all this different stuff, impact webbing that you can do, and again, haven't gotten to mess around with it too much, but so far it looks pretty cool, and I think it has a lot of potential going forward. Also, the cutscenes look absolutely beautiful. They look so good. And I just love that you have the customized suits in the cutscenes, which look awesome. I've gotten a chance to play around with, obviously, the 3 pre-order suits. The Iron Spider one I've been using a lot, which looks awesome. And it has the suit abilities, which are really cool. I also have gotten to mess around with a little bit. He's got, obviously, the arms from Infinity War, or the legs, or whatever you want to call them. But for the Iron Spider suit, and it just looks so good. The Iron Spider one, I will say, looks a little weird just because it's like it's like an Iron Man suit essentially, but it also in the game functions more like it's made out of fabric, so it's kind of weird, but whatever. And like I already mentioned, web swinging is just so good. And also, the humor and dialogue, also to my surprise, has actually been really on point and actually just had me laughing out loud, which, like, I'm a really hard person to please when it comes to comedy. I don't really like comedy movies, and it's just really hard to get me to laugh at, like, comedy or games or really in anything. But this, like, I want to say at least 30 minutes in, had one line that was just, it was a stupid joke, but, like, I thought it was funny, and the performances, especially for, like, Yuri Lowenthal as Spider-Man, he's really good, and he sounds like Spider-Man. I don't want to sound like I'm exaggerating too much, but I'm really in love with this game so far. So far, there aren't really any like side missions, but that's because I'm not too far into the game. I'm only around 3 or 4 story missions in, so I'm not worrying about that too much, but I do assume that more will show up in the future, and it's just a really cool feeling of having you swing around the city with the music playing, and then a random crime happens, and then you gotta go stop it, and it's just really cool. And so far, I'm just really loving this game, guys. After waiting 2 years, I'm pleased. I can't wait to play it even more after I finish recording this video, and then just go from there. I did buy the collector's edition, and I have not looked at the statue yet because I don't want any spoilers. So I'm going to beat the game, then look at the statue, and I'm sure I will have more to talk about with this game way later. But so far, if you're kind of on the fence about this game, I would definitely say go ahead, go for it if you're a Spider-Man fan or just a fan of good games in general. I am very pleased so far, and I do not think that the purchase of a PlayStation 4 or this game so far was a waste of money. If you guys have gotten a chance to play this game, let me know. Also, what do you think about this game if you have gotten a chance to play it? And just from kind of the footage you've seen or just anything, are you excited about it? I know a lot of people on my channel are subscribed for Halo stuff, so if you have an Xbox, are you bummed that you can't play it because you don't have a PlayStation? Or maybe you do. Either way, let me know what you think about Marvel Spider-Man, officially released today after a 2-year wait. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Majestic Gaming.